Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Is this the
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA's Final Four is set. Minnesota shuts down the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets in 7 games. Minnesota wins Game 7 in Denver. Denver was held to only 38 points in the second half. The Lakers should have been taking notes in this series on how to beat the Nuggets. The T-Wolves will play the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 is Wednesday in Minneapolis. In the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers went into New York and took Game 7. The Pacers and Boston Celtics will meet up for the Eastern Conference title. Game 1 is Tuesday in Boston. Congratulations to Angels manager Ron Washington. The Angels took 2 or 3 from the Rangers in Texas. Washington was the Rangers manager for 7 seasons. Shohei Ohtani delivered a game-winning single in the 10th to give the Dodgers a 3-game sweep over Cincinnati. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. First, thank you for your support of KBLA Talk 1580. We deeply appreciate you. So, I get asked all the time, Tavis, when are you going to bring back that State of the Black Union Symposium you used to do? You know the one where you had all those black intellectuals on stage every year and everybody watched all day live on C-SPAN? Yeah, I know the one.
Let's bring them back.
Well, I am pleased to tell you that if you go to KBLA1580.com right now, you can sign up to be in the audience here in Los Angeles when we go back live on C-SPAN with a stage full of black thinkers and influencers for a historic conversation. America has never seen a stage full of black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's going down Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. Once we reach capacity, you'll have to watch us on C-SPAN. But if you want to be in the room when we go live from Los Angeles, Tuesday, June 18th, head to KBLA1580.com right now to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. With KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I believe up there. Hey!
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got your black.
Baby, let me explain to you, I'm saying.
What you saying?
It's not even like that.
It wasn't like that, but I saw you.
Baby, I don't love her.
You don't love me? You know what? I don't even want to talk to you.
She don't mean nothing to me.
I don't want to see your face.
She was just telling me.
I just want to see you walking through that
baby,
door. There ain't nothing else to say.
Why we gotta do it like this? Baby, damn.
Coming home late, it seems you barely beat the sun. Tapping my shoulder, thinking you gon' get you some. Smelling like some fragrance that I don't even wear. So if you want some loving, I suggest you go back there where you came from. Day to day with you is always something else. Working my nerve, God knows that I don't deserve what you put me through. Cause I've been so true to you. For you to come at me with another lame excuse. See, I heard it all before. All of your lies, all of your sweet talk. Baby this, baby that. But your lies ain't working now.
What? KBLA Talk 1580. Not at all. So it's Messy Monday. Messy Monday is back. I know there's a lot going on in the world, but we are back to focusing on relationships, the third and fourth Mondays of the month. Fourth Monday, of course, is Black Marriage Monday, when we clean up whatever we unleashed on Messy Monday. And joining me in the studio right now, a couple of folks that have a lot to contribute to the conversation. Dr. Carla Michelle is an executive and life coach, business psychologist with a psychotherapy background, motivational speaker, author, and podcast host. She's the founder of Dr. Carla Incorporated Coaching and Consulting based in Los Angeles. Welcome, Dr. Carla.
Oh, thank you. Great to be here.
Yes, great to have you on. Kerry Neal is with us. He's the Chief Change Agent for Keeping It 100 LA. He was in here stirring the pot last time we did Messy Monday, and that is how this conversation was born, because we started having just a tiny back and forth about who cheats more. Keeping It 100 LA is a nonprofit organization that's been around since 2012, and they're committed to debunking and demystifying common misleading themes and stereotypes about Black men and women in a relationship context. Something sorely needed. Welcome.
Good to be back, Dominique.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I bring this up a lot because of what's happening on the internet right now. I feel like there's a real division, and I've gone as far as to wonder if some of it isn't coming from Russian bots, because it seems like there's this real intentional division of Black men and women, the manosphere and this, I don't know, whatever the womanosphere is called, the toxicity online about relationships between Black and men and women. So, Dr. Carla, I'll start with you. Do you think it's worse than it's been in the past, or you think that's just the impression if you're very online and maybe spending too much focus on the virtual world?
I would go with the latter, but I think it's always been there. It's just now with all that where we are with technology, it's just we're more aware of it, and daily, hourly, minutely. I mean, you get everybody, whether it's Snapchat, I don't want to name those tools, but
yeah,
they're posting, they're showing, and now you get paid if it's better views if you have problems. So,
right.
It is definitely out there. I don't think it's anything new. I think it's just more.
When you guys founded Keeping It 100 LA,
right.
2012, it didn't seem like it was quite at the pitch that it's at now as far as online, the battle of the sexes. Right. So what prompted that, the creation of that organization and sort of this urge to bring men and women, Black men and women specifically, closer?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I want to say, too, in terms of all this crazy stuff, in terms of this toxic around Black relationship, it is perpetuated and exacerbated by social media. As a matter of fact, if it keeps popping up on your phone, that's because you indulge it. So the algorithms are just feeding you what you typically do all the time anyway. So, no, but Keeping 100 started out of, I think I mentioned this last time, a pretty janky relationship that I was in.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad, and I take full responsibility. I mean, certainly there's things I could have done to resolve it, and the cascading impact of not just doing the noble and honorable thing by just being straight up and honest led to a series of things in my life that was pretty radical and earth-shattering in a variety of ways. But I thought I was in this on this island by myself. I was not. There were a lot of people who were going through the same thing, even worse. And then, like I mentioned before, the whole idea of providing an emotionally safe space to have these conversations. Mm-hmm. Men and women, we began to see that, it's not so much the opposite sex. It's stuff that we continue to do to continue to be on that hamster wheel. Different name, same situation. So.
And you guys just did one of your Keeping It 100 LA conversations yesterday.
Yesterday, yes. We were. It was called Shop Talk. So we brought together barbers and hairstylists in the community and asked them to glean and share with us the feedback and experience they've had with their clients in terms of their opinions on relationships, dating, sex, and how hair factors into that whole landscape of dating as well. Very interesting conversation.
Because for some reason we like to tell our hairstylists everything, which is kind of strange. But yeah, that must have been fun.
Yeah, it was. It was very enlightening. We also had Denai Mamari, see how you say her name, of Black Marriage Movement, and she was the moderator, did an incredible job. She moderated and she just dropped gems of wisdom, insight, particularly around masculinity and femininity. So it was really great.
Yeah, sounds like another whole show.
Yep.
But the stereotype, Dr. Carla, and from what I'm seeing, I'm not going to pretend I've done a deep dive, but I've done a little bit of searching. Men cheat more than women.
Yes, I have to agree with that. And I think I will say this. You can choke, but I think women when they do it, they're better at it.
By sneakier.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure that's something.
That's not something
I'm not
to
sure
brag
that's the
about.
flex.
And it doesn't pop up on the statistics.
But because that's why,
You think we're outsmarting the statisticians?
All day. 100%.
Well, I don't know.
Because we would never confess. Is that what you're saying? You guys just get busted so the percentage is higher? I don't get it.
Women have learned to recalibrate anything and everything that's going to make them look bad. That's what we're
Well, according to the Institute for Family Studies, 20% of women and 20% of men and 13% of women said they'd had sex with someone other than their spouse while married. So that's a pretty wide gap. It's almost double.
Okay, so what that statistic is not telling you is that, well, they'll say, okay, men will say, okay, I busted, cheated, got it, right? The women will say, well, I wouldn't get my needs met. And the sister girl was like, the people of the committee will say, girl, so you deserved somebody else. That was hard. So that's not even factored in to that statistic. So that's why.
Who told you that?
Dr. Carla.
What do you mean? That's a conversation you guys have.
Were you in I've never been in those conversations. So where are you hearing these conversations? Okay. What kind of women are you hanging out with?
Okay, we're going to be on our best behavior because we're on the radio. Okay?
No, you're supposed to be on your worst behavior because you're on the radio. Only just don't cuss. That's the only rule.
Look, it is quite clear that y'all will make, and this kind of goes in the whole accountability thing. Oh my God, we were talking about that yesterday at the event, that most may have issues with women not taking accountability. It's like with anything, it gets spun into, well, that happened because you did blah 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 blah.
Do you think that men take accountability? Because honestly, in the situations I've been in, they can be busted. In fact, I remember when I was on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, he used to say, she can walk in on you. She can have video of you having sex with another woman. If your name is not stamped on your butt, you're supposed to say it wasn't me.
Okay.
And I think a lot of men follow that. It wasn't me, and
True that. Look, I'm not trying to say men. Okay, look, I'm not trying to say men are always accountable. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, men will lie, will try to get out of it, and then we'll go, okay, back against the wall, like how Diddy did when his back was against the wall. I guess now he's sorry for everything that happened since the videotape had come out, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so I mean, men, we mess up and we've done things that we shouldn't have, and we may try to lie our way out of it, but ultimately we will confess, even if because our backs were against the wall. That ain't what y'all do, though.
Well, I was going to say, Carla. Okay, if women do cheat, I don't think men really ask, because you guys don't want to know if we really cheated or not. Because
is that what you find with your clientele, that they're like the men don't?
I don't know. No man that don't want to know if they want to cheat.
Think about it, really.
And Miles doesn't agree either. Miles, what is that?
Miles, bro, come in here. What?
We don't ask.
Do you ask? Have you ever asked someone, Miles?
I have asked. Yes, I have.
Really?
I'm very blunt. I'm at a younger generation. I'm very blunt with everybody, too. I have no
problem. He's
not
even 30 yet. Okay.
Well,
but so what did she say?
She said no, and I believed her.
Okay.
That's good. No, I'm just kidding.
She lied.
No,
she lied?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all bad. She said no, and you believed her, and then later you found out.
So
I'm not the person that's gonna dig. I don't go through the phones. I'm not looking for the problem. You know what I mean? I'm gonna trust you and believe you, and I feel the same way should be reciprocated for me.
Now that's an interesting point. We'll get to that in just a minute. But why do you say, Dr. Carla, that men don't want to know?
There's been situations where I've heard amongst that they rather not know They rather not know because they're in love with the man is in love with the woman and rather not know if they're cheating or not. Or if they're dating someone else, or, if it's new, they don't want to know if they're even dating someone else. I'm not a man. I cannot say why.
The man that says that is the man, we realize he don't really want to know because he's done dirt. So he don't really want to know the reality that she's doing dirt.
I can see
that's
that.
what that's about.
I can
if he's
definitely
being
see
legit,
that.
oh my God, of course. Yeah.
Or he's not in a position to lose a woman like her.
There.
What does that mean?
I think it's
Dr.
more
Carla,
of that.
What does that mean, not in a position?
Well, because you're not in a position, whether it means the type of woman she is or how the relationship is set up, and he's needing her or in love, deeply in love, and is willing to take the hit.
Miles, I'm glad you're willing to speak today because now at least we have 2 men and 2 women in the conversation. Kerry's not out here by himself.
I know, right?
I just think that they're, when they want to stick, women and men basically can do the same thing. If they want to be with a man who cheats, they will stay. If a man wants to be with a woman who cheats, he'll stay.
You know what? I do know women in that situation. They look the other way because they don't want to.
They don't want to do it.
They don't want to be divorced. They don't want to, or he's supporting them, or they, just don't think they can get a guy like that again. So they'll put up with all kinds of things.
Yeah. And just reverse it, and it happens on the same side. Because at the bottom line, we're still all human trying to make it in life.
Yeah. Now, see, okay, so here's why I think men probably get the reputation more for cheating
stats.
Than not.
It's stats, not just reputation, Kerry.
Okay, stats, okay. But here's why I know. Most men will probably agree growing up that it's like if it's offered to you, you've got to take it. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're in a relationship.
You mean if...
It's an unspoken rule, so to speak.
If sex is offered to you, you have to take it?
You have to take it. You have to go for it.
Look, I looked at Miles. I haven't seen the other guy.
Miles making the face.
So,
even if it's someone you're not at all attracted to, who's just some random... unattractive, cootie-having person
that you want to pass on.
Knows how to throw in the cooties, like just put extra.
Look, I've heard dudes say, "Look, I just got to put a paper bag on it. He's gonna go for it."
And then you wonder why the stats are so high.
Not to mention STDs, but anyway.
But there is this sense of, and this I'm certainly not
like you're not a real man if you don't hit that.
Exactly.
Miles, you agree with that?
I mean, there's a certain level of that. I mean.
Wow.
There is that dog phase, and that's where you become that dog, where you do hit any and everything walking.
I'm glad you all survived that, because that sounds very dangerous.
Some people don't make it out.
Yeah.
On the other side, a lot of different, how they came into it. So.
Yeah, our conversation today is about who cheats more, men or women. The experts are here, and me and Miles are in the building. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. We are unapologetically messy. KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. When the conversation is bubbling during news, traffic, and sports, it's on around here. Who cheats more, men or women? The statistics say it is men at almost double what I'm seeing. Kerry Neal is with us. He's Chief Change Agent for Keeping It 100 LA. Dr. Carla Michelle is here. She is an executive and life coach and helps to counsel a lot of couples. I'm seeing something really interesting here in these statistics. This is from the Institute of Family Studies. The gender cheating gap gets wider among older Americans. 80 plus, the gap is 6% of women to 24% of men. And when you get down to your 18 to 29-year-olds in Miles's age range, it says men cheat 10% and women at 11%. So according to this, among under 30, the women are cheating a little bit more than the men. That is, what do you say, Dr. Carla?
What's that song? These hoes ain't loyal.
Oh.
You know what?
Why we gotta be hoes? I mean, they gotta be hoes.
Honestly, that's a gender neutral song.
Exactly. And
these FBs ain't loyal.
No. That's a gender specific song.
The FBs is gender specific. Yeah, a hoe can be any gender, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's what the intent of the artist.
I'm not talking about the intent of the I'm talking about
interpretation.
It's about interpretation. Okay. If I can sing it and you can sing it, and
bring Chris Brown in here and let's ask him. So what you're
30 to 39, it's already back to men cheating more. By 30 to 39, the men are at about, according to this Institute for Family Studies, men are about 14% and women are about 12%. But it's pretty close. Where you see it really diverge, right around 50. Right around 50. And then by the time you get 60s, 70s, and 80s, the men are just... And so it makes me wonder if that's a cultural shift. I don't think that men cheat more as they get older. I'm thinking that generation, the so-called greatest generation and the boomers, according to this, cheat more of the men, the millennials, and the...
So wait a minute. So when they get older, they're saying, so women cheat more, men cheat more?
Men cheat more. The gap is wider. So like among 80-year-olds, only 6% of women cheat and 24% of men do. And I'm thinking it has to do with generations. Like that maybe for that greatest generation, it was more acceptable for men to cheat.
I don't know.
For the boomers,
I don't know. Look,
you don't like that.
Think about it though. As
generation or not, y'all women.
He's gonna go back.
Y'all women have a plan. Y'all already know. Look.
Know.
I mean, y'all.
What do you mean we have a plan? A cheating plan?
Look, y'all could work for CIA Secret Service the way y'all get down with y'all stuff. Y'all have a way of being able to do. And again,
I don't want to say who hurt you, Kerry. Who hurt you?
Dominic, I was there with you. I was about to say. I'm glad you said it.
This has zero to do with me being hurt.
Who messed you up?
This has This has to do the intel from the streets,
Yo street.
The street patrol. Okay, so
Your house.
when you hear that,
My house, whatever.
when you hear that change, and by the way, this is not telling us volume; it's just telling us the difference.
Percentage.
So the amount of cheating could be the same. It's just the difference between men and women. When you hear that change across the generations or across ages, how do you interpret that?
Well, I think with younger, I think we're at this day and age where young girls or whatever you consider young girls and boys or young men and young women, they're all doing their thing. They're all filling it out. I mean, who are the guys going to do it with? So the girls are doing it too. They're filling it out. The songs promote it now. I mean, you know, they're asking for whatever they ask for that I cannot say on air, just as much as the guy. Remember, the guys' songs used to be all about give it to me. Now the girls are talking about what they need, so that switches it up. I think as we get old, you got to remember we're having babies, we're getting pregnant if we choose to go that route, and so we're changing in that. So we're at home, we're raising where the guy is still out, and as you get older, how many of us have had relatives that found out when they passed away that he has a whole nother family?
Yeah.
So it used to be okay. They could be across the street, the other woman, you know, at the job. It used to, I don't want to say it was okay. It was more common. So
it was tolerated.
And as you get older, sometimes women will say, you know, as long as he ain't messing with me, I'm good. As long as I'm just not into it.
So my friend John Harrell, who sort of opened this can of worms by coming in to do the first ever Messy Monday, he says that Kerry's right. Women's default answer is always what type of woman you're dealing with when a woman cheats. Men cheat for sex and comfort, and women cheat for attention and understanding. Do you agree with that, Dr.
And
Clark?
revenge.
And revenge. And because a man's net worth grows, his options open up as he gets older so he can cheat more. That's what John says.
There's some truth in that. There is some truth, and yes, there is, and it's right. If women do cheat, it's because they don't feel seen in whatever relationship they're in. We were out talking about love and respect, and they want that, and if they can get it, and you know, sneak home, and you don't even notice, the guy don't even notice, then they win. But that doesn't make it. Still don't think the percentage is higher.
You said you think women cheat for revenge.
Yeah, I think they cheat for revenge. And again, it just sort of makes sense. If you're not getting your needs met and things like that, and then it's affirmed and supported, and, you know, by their girlfriends and, you know, what they see on social media and, you know, what they see on the different talk shows. They feel like they're well within their rights, that they should. It's cheating, but it's justified. So it's not really cheating because it's justified for women. For men, we may feel justified in cheating, but we're going to still call it cheating. That's not what y'all do, though.
So you're saying their girlfriends are telling them it's okay? It's like they're co-signing on them cheating? I have many girlfriends.
I'm sorry, is the mic working here? Yes. Your girlfriends will absolutely co-sign.
I'm trying to say, what people do you hang around? I'm trying to figure out who are these girlfriends that are co-signing for their I'm not saying they may not. Maybe they do.
So now she can bring my crew into question.
Well, I see Miles okay, so here's the thing. I think I have girlfriends that will justify anything I do. If I'm tightroping, girl, you're the best tightroper. If I'm deep sea diving, those are my ride or dies. So from that perspective, But as far as a habitual thing that cheating is okay according to the girl squad, I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm not necessarily referring to habitual cheating per se. I'm saying that, well, you know what? Yeah, I did that because of this, and this. I'm talking about, you know, episodic cheating, so to speak. Not necessarily, you know, you've just, that's how you get down.
All right, we got news, traffic, and sports, and we'll continue the conversation. Who cheats more? And also, why does it matter? And, of course, I got to at least get a quick take on what you guys think about this Diddy controversy. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Ray Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Donald Trump's New York criminal hush money trial is nearing an end. The judge has told defense lawyers and prosecutors to be ready for closing arguments as soon as Tuesday, but that depends on whether Trump testifies. If he does take the stand, that could delay the close of the trial by a few days, but the jury is expected to get the case this week. The container ship that struck a Baltimore bridge will be removed from the site within days. The ship struck the Key Bridge, leading to a catastrophic bridge collapse. The Boy Scouts of America plans to rebrand to Scouting America next year, allowing gay and transgender scout leaders and members, sparking debate and backlash. And that's the latest. I'm Ree Harris on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA's Final Four is set. Minnesota shuts down the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets in 7 games. Minnesota wins Game 7 in Denver. Denver was held to only 38 points in the second half. The Lakers should have been taking notes in this series on how to beat the Nuggets. The T-Wolves will play the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 is Wednesday in Minneapolis. In the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers went into New York and took Game 7. The Pacers and Boston Celtics will meet up for the Eastern Conference title. Game 1 is Tuesday in Boston. Congratulations to Angels manager Ron Washington. The Angels took 2 or 3 from the Rangers in Texas. Washington was the Rangers manager for 7 seasons. Shohei Ohtani delivered a game-winning single in the 10th to give the Dodgers a 3-game sweep over Cincinnati. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
City of Los Angeles tenants, verify your Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today if you applied for the program. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. And it's illegal under law for landlords to refuse rental assistance to you based on your source of income. Refusing assistance can be used as an affirmative defense in an eviction case. So check your application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
You and your knit can't do nothing for it. Oh, these girls ain't loyal. These girls ain't loyal.
KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you for the clean version, Miles. Yeah, that one was for you, Kerry. Kerry Neal is the chief change agent for keeping it 100 LA. They've been around since 2012, trying to heal the relations between black men and women. Dr. Carla Michelle is here. She's a life coach, executive coach, and an author. Yes. And we're talking about who cheats more, men or women. So let's start with this. Why does it matter who cheats more, Dr. Carla?
I think in this conversation, I was going to point my finger at you.
Right.
It doesn't really matter because everyone's getting hurt behind it when it comes down to it.
Okay.
I think who does it more, but when it happens, it can disrupt a family. It could disrupt your heart and your life and your trajectory and what's happening. It can disrupt a home and your kids. So does it really matter as much as the effect of it? And I think even if you don't have kids and you were a cheater growing up, male or female, it's how you show up when you want to do slow down, all the fear you have if someone is cheating, what's going on behind your back, you're worried about everything. I think it feeds into something that we don't need. So does it matter?
Well, why does it matter to you, Kerry Neal?
Look,
because
okay.
you seem to be really making a strong case that you think women cheat just as much as men, if not more.
They cheat. Is my opinion that they cheat probably more, based upon, while the statistics don't necessarily bear it. There are things that they do that are justified. They're cheating, but because they're hurt or whatever the case may be, it falls into this category of like, well, you're well within your rights, so it's ultimately removed from the category of cheating. But
by who, though? In our own minds, you saying?
By the women, right? That are
Okay.
cheating. So it
Okay.
doesn't land on the plate. So the other thing, too, is this. One of my longtime mentors, Donald Bell, he said this when it came to cheating. He said, when problems happen in a relationship or when there's cheating, there's no one person at fault. They're only co-conspirators. It's happening because there's issues that are not being dealt with. So although one person is in the act of cheating, it exists because both persons are not doing what they need to do to nourish the relationship.
Is that blaming the victim?
No, it's you're in a relationship with a person. Okay, so there may be an occasion, there are probably occasions where someone's in a relationship and someone steps out and it catches the other person totally off guard. I get that. I know that happens. Absolutely. But there are also a variety of problems that they never get addressed, and people have very odd ways in how they sort of, remedy what's going on in their relationship.
Odd ways, to put it mildly, yeah.
So I'm going to medicate myself by having this cheating episode here. We men will call it cheating, but the women will do something like that, and it's not cheating. So
Miles, do you think it matters? Why does it matter who cheats more, men or women?
Well, I do think women do cheat more.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely more.
Wow.
Miles, look, these women, they don't listen to us, bro.
Exactly.
It don't matter what we say. Somehow, it's like talk to the hand. They like.
So you think women cheat more, and why is that important?
I think because the root of what he's getting at is that because it may be justified in your mind.
It's justified in your mind.
And I think that is the problem that we need to root out.
Yeah.
Another problem we need to root out.
Yeah,
it is a combination of everybody involved in the contract.
I'm also getting the feeling like you guys feel like you're not getting a fair shake in terms of like being stereotyped as being the cheaters, when it should be more equally shared.
What we
blame.
as men, and Miles, you should chime in on this as well. What we as men constantly are confronted with is women find a way not to be held accountable. True, we as men, we may lie, we may not want to suffer the consequences, but we'll ultimately say, okay, yeah, that's what happened, blah, blah, blah. That's not what y'all do. Y'all find a way to wiggle out and whatever else. It could be something like, honey, could you pick up something from the store for me? And then she comes back with, well, I will do it, but, you forgot that. It's like, well, I'm just asking you about.
It's like
there's so much,
Kerry.
That's like,
stop.
No.
Forgive her. Whoever did it, just forgive her.
Okay, so now, Miles, now it's me. It's me and my stuff, right? Okay. Is that what we're going? Okay.
So I think that what he is kind of getting at is that regardless of how the trial goes, the man's going to do the time for the crime.
Exactly.
While a woman will
walk.
Will.
So you're jealous?
No, not jealous. We're just calling it
jealous.
real.
We just
exactly.
want
See, that was
y'all
good.
stuff too.
That was good. You saw that, kid? That was a good one. That was real
Right?
good. Yes. Yeah.
See, look, so we can't even communicate properly or effectively or honestly without it being something wrong. Like, obviously I need to be healed.
Okay.
You're jealous.
Over whatever the case may be.
You jealous.
Let me concede that we all need to be healed. Okay, let me concede that.
That's right.
But to a conversation.
He needs to be healed more.
That's part 2 of this show, right? But conversation we had as a result of the event you all had yesterday, which is that you claim, Kerry, that men, one of the biggest beefs that men have is that we don't trust you guys. That especially black women question and mistrust everything.
Yeah. So the question was posed like, what's one of the top concerns men have with women? And so I said, well, it is my personal opinion, and most men probably share the same sentiment, that women, that we as men, we have a predisposition to be liars and not honest. So it doesn't matter what. So it's like you meet someone, seems like a cool guy, then she immediately goes get a background check on the person. Or that, you know, she's even talking about, maybe she's sharing the happiness with her friends that I met this great guy, and her friends come with the sense of, you sure he's not married? Or, I mean, what is this thing about we are walking around as just being these dishonest entities? I mean,
it's the men are dogs narrative.
Men are dogs, yeah.
Miles, do you agree with that?
You kind of got to prove, you got to earn your trust before. I mean, you should always have to earn your trust, I believe, but believe me, if you're going to take a chance and believe me, don't question me off rip.
Right. I would even argue that we as men, because we know that exists, we do things in preparation for we know that you probably don't trust us. So we may over-explain about things that where we don't really need to. And she might say, well, why is you listening? Well, and it's, that's some stuff we got to be healed from as well. That may be some level of trauma as well.
What do you hear when you hear that, Dr. Carla?
Say, Kerry, you're spot on. Go ahead.
Kerry, there's a lot that I could say, but
are we as black women less trusting? I mean, I know we will go in.
Well, I think there needs to be the black men in general need to have a meeting because they have some people misrepresenting you, and it's a large majority to some people because it happens over and over. So yes, from what I'm hearing, there's the chosen few who are feeling that they are being victimized because of what their brothers have done. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that inherently, I'm not saying this is every single woman. I am saying it is profoundly common for when we show up in a relationship.
Where do they get it from? As I'm saying, what is the woman getting it from?
I'm sorry. I just
but he's a man, right?
Okay.
So
I just don't want to be judged by your previous relationship or your past relationship. Well, so what I'm saying is,
I mean, so you're talking about the bag lady as Erica Badu. I mean, I think you should have a clean slate.
Yes.
But also, we're all going to be shaped by our experience and our knowledge, the things that we have been through in our lives. It doesn't mean you should be punished for it. But we also are going to have a level of common sense. You're going to make choices about your next girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, whatever, based on your past experience, don't you?
Yes.
I think I make my choice based on my past relationship. I don't think I hold you accountable to my past relationship.
Right.
So once you've made that choice, you give a clean slate based on the fact that your choice was informed by your past. You don't believe it, Dr. Carl?
I don't believe that. You're not. You don't make.
May make a wrong choice, but I think we go off of the choice and we believe in our choice.
You think men are more trusting of women than women are of men?
There's no doubt, absolutely.
Really?
We will assume look. We understand you guys may be dishonest about some things and whatever else. Again, it's categorized something else where it's not dishonesty. But anyway, I think that we tend to give you guys more of the clean slate, significantly more than you guys give us a clean. Oh my God, it's not even close. Are you going to deny that?
Okay,
I don't know. I haven't thought about it until right now.
Yeah,
what do you say?
Okay, now we're talking about it. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Maybe. I think you just don't talk about it. I think it's rolling in your head that you don't trust, but you're not going to say it.
I'll say this. When we don't trust because we have a logical reason to not trust. And that's why
That's why some men don't get married again after they've been married once because of the wives before. So it's not a clean slate. It's not.
Okay, so Molly Bell says, I've been married more than once. Too much information. Terry says, a lot of married or single women who have a boyfriend have hit on me more than single women do. I think both genders should be honest like the people who practice polyamory. Kwamel says women finding ways to duck accountable. Ladies love to flip things back on men or do a tap dance instead of being contrite. So you've got support there in the chat.
God.
We got support. Where's
Okay,
the
so
women?
y'all can go ahead and do what y'all need to do
Of course,
for radio.
these are all
But
men.
the truth is coming
Yes,
through on the
here.
chat right
these
there.
These are all men talking, just to be clear. Just
And
to
the
be clear.
women.
See, now, so we go again. Men would give a response, give their opinion, and it's like, well, this probably an issue.
Doesn't
It's
count.
like, again, exactly. Just
Well,
go ahead and
okay.
downplay what we have to say.
I don't know. I'm really trying to, because I don't know that I have the data to answer that question. To me, some men seem more trusting, like they give you a clean slate. Other men, they give you might as well be on the witness stand. They got an examination and a cross-examination and a background check and, the following, the stalking. Let's talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about that when we come forward. People looking in other people's phones,
Yes.
following, stalking, not just the regular background check, but the hood background check. All of those things. Do women do it more? I'm not so sure. Let's talk about it. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Salutations, kinfolk and family. It's Slink Johnson. Los Angeles is known for some of the greatest tacos in the world, but none better than the Original Taco Pete. Visit them online at originaltacopete.com or check them out at 3272 Slauson Avenue near the corner of Slauson and Crenshaw, or 2251 Rosecrans Avenue, where you can always have Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats delivered. Original Taco Pete, home of the Black Taco. Black owned for over 35 years and 4 generations.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh my, you guys got us all caught up over here, and it's a great conversation. Who cheats more, men or women? And so Terry says women like me because I'm honest with them. Women will tell me they have a boyfriend and then hit on me.
Yep. Right there.
And that's happened to you?
It's happened to me before, probably not as frequent as it happened to your homie right there.
Yeah. So what happened when she hit on you? Did you say yes?
I said, I'm a faithful person. That's
but I have a duty to smash it if it's offered, according to the men's code.
So however, no, it's like
smash on demand.
The smasher, huh?
We were talking about this issue that Kerry brought up, that men don't get a clean slate. He feels men don't get a clean slate, that women
rarely
question men more than men question women, And so let's talk about that. Like when we get into people that check people's phones. I know a lot of women that will check their man's phones, but men do it too. Men putting whole, GP, low jack or those little Apple trackers on their women, trolling their social media, just all kinds of things. So I don't know if men or women get more of a clean slate. But what are we supposed to do about that? I know for me personally, I used to be tempted when I was married. At the beginning, I would look in my husband's phone, and then I realized that's my brain energy. That's my mental landscape. And I trained myself not to do it. Not if I felt the thing, pivot, because
smart.
You're going to do what you're going to do, and eventually it will have the consequences for the relationship. I don't have to look for trouble. I consciously train myself. Every time I start feeling like looking at the phone, I'll go do something for my show, or look up a summer camp for my kid, or something that builds rather than destroys. But
that's beautiful. Actually, that's a great tool. I think we need more of that, because it does come in. The insecurities do rise up. You're going to question. Do I agree? I'm not a phone checker. Am I a phone kind of watching how you doing it? Maybe sometimes, because if it looks suspicious, but I'm not going to say, hand me your phone. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to see all that.
But to divert your energy is, because you're right. If it's going to happen, it's going to come out. Or if it don't come out, you'll eventually move out of it because you don't feel that security, which you want in a relationship. So I'm for no checking phones all the way. Just let it be. If it
I mean, because what are you going to do about it? Right?
You're probably
and now
stay with
you're
them anyway.
polluting your own mental landscape with all this toxicity. But men do that stuff too, don't they, Kerry?
Yeah, I think there are men that do it as well.
Lots of men are controlling.
Yeah, and those are men who need to go get some work done.
Where are you going? Where you been? Who is that?
Yeah, I mean, you clearly haven't been healed and things like that. I think what's interesting is our cell phones contain so much information about us on a daily basis, what we do, what we think, conversations, and things of that nature, right? So someone may not necessarily be cheating, but they may be having conversation that they don't really want their significant other to know about. You know what I mean? And I think there's that process. I think that is important. Now, if we're talking about people who are married, I mean, I think everything should be sort of full disclosure. But even then, if I was married, I'm not sure that I would want to even. I just respect the fact there may be some things going in your world that may be exclusive to your world that I don't necessarily have to.
I don't want to see all them past girlfriends and all that, whatever be on your phone. I don't want to see all that.
All them photos.
Miles, what do you think about the phone checking situation?
I'm not a phone checker. I'm a little, like I said, I'm open. So I give a girl a chance one time to check my phone. You got one chance to ask, just to heal your insecurity one time. But after that, it's over with. But your phone does have so much information about you, though. It's got a lot of information. Your past, your call records, your search history, your future plans, your calendar, your DMs, you know what I mean? So it's temptation. It's temptation.
Yeah.
So fight the temptation. Don't do it.
Dr. Carla?
It can start some fights. That's why you stay out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to trust the person. And before we had technology,
right,
we did it. So let's.
I mean, don't check the phone. Check the vibe.
That's what I'm. Yeah, if you feel something,
wrong, I mean, you don't think I know. We know. Miles.
I mean, you could fake the vibe for a long time.
Really?
And I feel like that may not be safe for women either, because women will flow with whatever vibe you're putting out for so long.
I don't know.
Ignore signs.
You might be right. I mean, I've been blindsided before, I'll tell you that. But a lot of times, I think it's what Sahara Ali said earlier today. We don't listen to that little voice that was telling us something ain't right.
Right. I agree with that one. I mean, just like we're so dependent on direction. I think even GPS, we don't even trust ourselves to pay attention to the roads anymore. And we are right. We don't pay attention to the signals. Facts. They're dull because we don't listen to them. We're waiting for our friend to tell us or our snooping. But we need to trust ourselves.
Yeah. I would agree.
And believe that women do not cheat as much as men do.
She had to bring it home with that. Kerry does not agree. But, you got to admit that if there are women cheating that are not showing up in the statistics because they're on the radar, they're under the radar, the same is true with men. Exactly. They've got men that are secret agents, too.
No.
What world are we in?
The men that are cheating. Obviously, there may be some men that are cheating and there's not being accounted for.
Yeah,
I am saying what's woven into the existence of women is to eliminate themselves from some sort of negative category based upon them being hurt, which is justified by their friends.
But every human being justifies their own behavior.
It's a complete different stratosphere for women, though. You guys can evaporate from multiple categories.
Mel wants to know if the healing thing is a weak cliche buzzword by now.
Right.
Miles, you were about to say something.
I'm curious. So, as a woman, is the honesty of the cheating important to you?
For me, for you to come clean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
The truth of the fact that I cheated is important to you.
If we're going to stay in the relationship, if we're breaking up, then nah. Yeah. But if we're going to stay in the relationship and build, then the honesty of it.
Then the point he's getting at, I feel like, is that men are more honest cheaters for what it's worth.
That could be. Pretty Brown Mimi says, for me, the biggest thing I look at is a man's heart. Is he genuinely a good man with me and others? How you treat people still matters. And I think that is the bottom line for men and women, for humans. How do they move in the world?
Yep.
How do they move in the world? Okay, so we're out of time here. We only have a couple minutes. We're not going to have time to delve into this whole situation with Diddy. It was a bit of a sidebar because it's really about domestic violence, not cheating. I said my piece. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing I can say from that videotape, it was interesting when Cassie was on the ground and kind of curled up in like the cradle. What's it called? Infant position, what's it called? When you kind of
fetal
position. She seemed like that she had went into that position like it wasn't her first time doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Stop, drop, cover. Like she had domestic violence drills.
Yeah, exactly.
Kerry and Dr. Carla, will you guys come back one day? Maybe we need to do part 2 of this.
Now, let's do your research. Talk to your girlfriend.
Get you come revise. Everyone listening, I do not have to research.
If folks want life coaching, counseling, or how do they contact you?
Oh, you know what? You can email me at hello@drcarlainc.com. That's HELLODRCARLAINC.com.
hello@drcarlainc.com. And keeping it 100 LA?
Yeah, it's K100LA.org. That's K100LA.org.
Well, thank you guys both for a robust and fun conversation. And thank you, Miles. Thank you, too, for getting in this. We can have a balance of men and women and some intergenerational stuff going on. I am going to Jim Brown because I took his American curriculum, the decision-making process, for my closing quote. He says, eliminate the negative, establish the facts, and choose your best option. Tavis Smiley's up next. You know he's got an incredible lineup for you. And we will see you tomorrow. Tariq Nasheed joins me tomorrow. That should be an interesting conversation on a Talking Point Tuesday. I invite you to tap in on all the social media, KBLA 1580 or me, DiPrima Radio. Please like, follow, and argue. History's now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
1580 Santa Monica.
Prosecutors to be ready for closing arguments as soon as Tuesday, but that depends on whether Trump testifies. If he does take the stand, that could delay